Hey guys, welcome to this live broadcast. Today is going to be the first session of the Blocks with Microbit online STEM course. So basically, what we're going to talk about today is some of the basic blocks as well as inputs. We're going to talk about how you can work with your microbit board. Now, as mentioned in the description below for this live video, you can see that we won't be using any of the electronic components from the Kitronik's Inventor Kit or Elecfreaks Starter Kit. So what we're going to do is today we're just going to focus on the microbit board itself. Now, if you do not have a microbit board yet, and you're still getting it, you have ordered online or your parents are getting for you, and you're just waiting for it to arrive, don't worry about it. During this live session, I'm going to show you how to access the Make Code editor. All you need is a web browser, right? And then from there, there's also a simulator that you can actually see what is really going on, based on what you have created. So yeah, all right. So without any further ado, let us get right into it. And then let me just start by sharing my screen over here. Okay, so what we're going to do is wait. Let me just adjust the audio option. Hopefully, with the audio option, you'll be able to hear me better. All right, so basically what I have here, let me just delete this. All right, so when you go to makecode.microbit.org, right, this is going to be the place where you're going to access your editor. All right, so I'm going to paste the link in the group chat so you can easily access it from your web browser as well. Okay, so once you have opened up the Make Code editor, you're going to see a couple of things. I believe we have already gone through this in the introductory session, right? So if you haven't watched the introductory session, I would recommend that you go and review that, all right? And once you have reviewed that session, you can always come back to this. And of course, all of live sessions are going to be recorded. And then once it's over, these live sessions will be attached to a blog article that I'll be creating that will sort of recap and revisit some of the most important things that you need to remember from this session today. All right, so now you should have your Make Code editor open. The very first default thing that you should see on your screen is two blocks. We call them blocks. All right, so this is like a block. So we have the on start block. We also have the forever block. So one thing that you need to understand is that this is the default. And honestly, I don't recommend that you remove any of this, even though technically you can remove the on start block. But I will suggest keeping it there because we're going to be using it in the future sessions. And we will try to use them later today as well. We'll see how the exercises go. All right. But on start, basically, what is on start for? On start is a place where you want to set certain values before your program runs. For example, you want to set a variable. Variable is basically a container, something that can hold a certain value for you so that you can call that container, all right, to retrieve that value during the execution of the running of the program. All right, so in the onStart block, this is where you put all your variables. All right. In the forever block, this is where it will basically loop whatever that you want to do. And as you have seen earlier, all right, if I were to stop sharing my screen, you'll be able to see that the microbit here is actually scrolling and displaying my name. All right, so it's saying, "Hi, Sherman," with exclamation mark. So basically, it's constantly looping itself. It's constantly sort of scrolling across the LED screen. So this is what the forever block is for. All right. And later during today's session, I will also talk about something else which is called event handling. What is event handling? So basically, um, when an event happens, meaning when you press a button or when you shake your microbit board, that is an event. That is something that is happening, right? So as it is happening, you want the microbit board to perform a certain action, right? Maybe you want it to show an icon, or you want it to show an image, and then when you stop shaking it, you will not show an image, and so on and so on. So we're going to look at that today, and then we're going to work with that. All right, in today's live session. All right, so let me just go back to the MakeCode editor. Okay, so once we are back to the MakeCode editor, the very first today's lessons for today's session, we will only be talking about basic, all right, as well as input. Now we won't be touching everything today. So in terms of the input toolbox, right, we call it a toolbox because there are many things many blocks that you can choose from within this particular toolbox itself. So a toolbox basically is like a physical toolbox where you see your dad sometimes fixing something at home, or you see a plumber or an electrician coming to your house to fix up the internet, the Wi-Fi, to fix your lights and so on. And then they will carry this box. And then when they open up, there will be different tools inside, right? Wrenches, screwdrivers, and so on. So those are the tools, and that box itself is a toolbox. So you can think of these blocks as those individual tools that you can use, all right, within your microbit program. So basic, the very first thing we want to do with basic is we're gonna work with displaying your name, displaying a string. So in this case, let's say you can type your own name, all right? So you can use show string and just type in the entire name, right? So once you have done that, what you want to do is create this name called session 1, session 01. You can save it as a file onto the laptop or your PC, and then you can always retrieve it whenever you want to add on to it or to work on something interesting after this session is over. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to download straight to the microbit board itself. I'm using a Mac system, so if you're running a Windows environment, just take note that you need to select the drive. Once the drive is selected, you just need to save the file into the microbit board itself. So if you don't have a microbit board, don't worry. Right here on the left-hand side is actually the simulator. This environment is a simulator. So you can stop the simulator, or you can start the simulator to basically see what is going on and as it is running. All right. Now, of course, if you want to play sounds and so on, you can disable the sound or mute it. It's up to you. But for sound, I would recommend that, to get a kit. All right. So we're going to work with different things during this course itself. And it would be good for you to actually have uh, the kit. All right. Okay. So one little tip that I want to share with you is that Let me see. Where is it? Okay, so if you go under advanced, all right, not that it's really advanced anyway, but this is something helpful that I want to teach you because I believe that this course is not just about learning the basics, but I also want to share with you something that is helpful and useful for you to know, right? So under text, under advanced, and that the text toolbox, you find that there are a lot of things that you can do, all right? But I won't go through all of that. I just want to talk about one, which is join, right? So let's just drag this onto the editor first. Okay, next thing, you'll go to variables, right? And then we're going to set. So here's a tip, right? You can either drag this onto the editor and change the, uh, rename the variable. This is one way. Or you can actually click on make a variable. Then let's name this variable as name. Okay, so once you have done that, next thing you want to do is you will drag this onto, okay, let's put this, we will replace the string that we have earlier, and then we are going to put name to the bottom half of join, right? So, and then the top half, we say hello. Okay, so what this is doing right now is that we are telling microbit that, hey, please show a string, display a string that says hello name. All right, so name can be uh, your name, it can be, yeah, anybody's name. So in say a actual project, maybe you're creating a greeting display. So this greeting display would be able to read the name of your classmates or whoever, and then you will display, yeah, hello name, right? So but before you can actually do that, this is where the on start is useful. So probably in a more real world use case, what happens is that you might want to have this item in the forever block, because you are waiting for someone, you are waiting for your classmates to maybe, I don't know, type in their name somewhere and being read. So, but here you can just set it as, hang on. Okay, so you need to set as string. Otherwise, the default is a number. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm basically setting the variable name to Sherman. All right, so here you will join hello Sherman. All right, so you will be able to see it running on the simulator. All right, on your own simulator. Then I'll also show you in the microbit itself, on the microbit board itself. You'll be scrolling hello Sherman. Okay, I need to hang on. I haven't saved the program. So download it to your microbit board. When you are doing that, notice that the LED will be blinking. All right. All right, so it's displaying hello Sherman right now. So okay, so next thing, let's talk about, so you have learned how to display your name. All right. Next thing we want to do is we want to work with the LEDs. All right, so LEDs will allow you to display using the LED display that you see in the 25 LEDs. All right, so what you do is you select the LED that you want to display. Once there's a red color square inside, it means that that LED will be lighted up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to show a smiley face. All right, so actually we can just put it on start, because if you are looping forever, yeah, it's just a smiley name anyway. All right, but we will do something interesting in the next few sessions when we talk about logics and so on. So if else, we will go into that, so don't worry. All right, so let's download. Oh, I realized that. All right, so I noticed you didn't see what I was creating. All right, so what I did earlier was I've taken the basic toolbox show LEDs block, right? So this show LED, drag it. When you click on the individual LED to display, there will be a red square that will appear. All right, so that shows that you want that particular LED to be displayed, to light up. Right? So you should be able to see the smiley LED on your simulator as well. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, let's drag the show LEDs over the smiley face. Let's include this pause block. So pause, what it means is basically to pause for a number of milliseconds. All right, so one thing you need to remember is 1000 milliseconds is equals to 1 second. All right, so 1 millisecond is 0.001 second. All right, so that's something that you should take note. So what I want to do here is we're going to pause for 1 second, and then we're going to show an unhappy face. Oops. If you ever did something by accident, what you can do is you can always use the undo function that is available. Okay, right click. This is a tip that I can share with you. Right click on the block that you want to reuse, right, within your program, and select duplicate. So you need to drag that block, all right? So in order to unselect, just click on that particular LED space, all right? Let's download the program to the microbit board. I won't be toggling between my own microbit board, because logically this session, you can actually see it running on the simulator as well. Right, so you notice that between the smiling and between the sad face and the smiley face, there is no stop, there's no pause, right? So what we want to do is we want to duplicate the pause block again, put it just after the unhappy face, right? So now it will delay and it will wait for another 1 second before showing the happy face. Okay, so now you'll be seeing your display flashing the happy face and the sad face, every alternate second. All right, next, let's delete this. Let's see. You can also use this to clear the screen. All right, so maybe if, okay, let's talk about this a little later. Let's drag the show LEDs outside. When you see this crisscrossing on the blocks, what it means is that uh, it will not be run, it will not be executed by the microbit bot. So this will not take place, all right, during the program. So that is what it means with by the crisscross. So if you ever see some blocks on your editor that has this great semi-grayed out crisscross display pattern, all right, it means that that is probably not being used, or you probably need to remove it from your editor and so on. All right, so let's go on to input. So again, you on your microbit board, as we have talked about in the initial session, right, introduction, there are actually two buttons, right, on your microbit board. There's button A and there's button B. All right, so, and then of course you have your plug pins at the bottom. Okay, so these plugs, all right, these 5 plugs that you see at the bottom of your microbit board on the edge, they can also detect the touch of your finger. All right, so that is something that we will talk about in next week's session. Today we're going to talk about the buttons, and we're going to talk about sort of like a gesture when you try to shake your microbit board. All right, so let's go back to our MakeCode editor. Okay, so under input, go ahead and select the on button A pressed um, event block. Okay, so I think calling it an event block is much easier for you guys. So yeah, let's call it that. So here you see that there is this selection option, all right, where you can select between 3 options. There are only 3, either button A, B, or A and B together. All right, so on button A press, let's say on button A press, we want it to show a smiley face, right? So again, we will unselect the LEDs and select the smiley face. Now, next thing that we want to do is, there's another tip that you can learn. Rather than, dragging the block again, one thing that you can do is to right click, right, on button A press block and select duplicate. So this is very useful if you have a program and you are writing uh, some steps, all right, that you want to duplicate those steps, right? You want it to, and then modify some things after that. But yeah, you want to duplicate and you don't want to recreate the whole thing. Using the duplicate option is very, very useful in this case. This is good to practice that. I think this is a good practice to have. So I will do a lot of such things during the course itself. So you get a lot of practice as well as you are following along. So in this case, on button B, all right, we're going to show a unhappy face. All right, so let's download it onto the microbit board. Now, if you don't have a physical microbit board, it's fine. On the simulator, just remember that it's set to playing. When it's playing, it will show the color, all right? There'll be colors. If it's not in the playing mode, it will be grayed out. All right, so you won't be able to interact with it. All right, so what we're going to do is you can click on the button A in your simulator, and it will show the smiley face. All right, and then the next thing you want to do is click on button B. It will show you the unhappy face. All right, so that is what is happening. So let's go over to the physical microbit board that I have. And so if I press button A, it will show the happy face. Right? If I press button B, it will show the unhappy face. Unhappy face. All right, so you finally get, working with the buttons. That's great. Okay, awesome. Now, another thing that we want to do is we want to do the gestures. So gesture is kind of like, with your hand, you would do a flicking of your hand, or you would make your palm facing down, your palm facing up. So, or you shake your hand, you shake your legs, or, all these things are called gestures. All right, gestures. So basically, for the microbit board itself, we can make it shake, right? And then it will display certain things. All right, so if you look at, let me switch over to the editor. Okay, so go to input, just select the next block that you see, which is on shake, all right? And drag it onto the editor, right? If you look at the selection options, right, there are different things like logo up, logo up, screen down, tilt left, tilt right. If it's a free fall, all right, so if this microbit board is kind of like dropping from a great height, all right, you can measure, whether it's depending on the speed, right? So 3G, 6G, 8G. So Gs are usually used for measuring the relative speed falling with reference to gravity, right? So, okay, fine, let's do shake first. On shake, let's say we like to clear the display, clear screen. So when you press A, it will show a smiley face. When you press B, it will show a happy face. And if you shake the microbit, basically it will just clear the whole screen. All right, so that's something we're going to try out right now. If you notice in the simulator, right, in the movement, all right, in the simulator, you can also press this shake. All right, so it will basically simulate the microbit board being shaked. All right, so let's use A, smiley face, B, a happy face. Let's shake the microbit board. All right, so it will clear the display. All right, so let's see in action in like the real microbit board itself. Let's see what really happens. So press A, have the smiley face, right? Press B, we see the unhappy face. Let's shake. All right, so once I shake the microbit board, now the screen is clear. All right, so that is how you actually handle gestures. Okay, so let's go one step further and look at the logo up, logo down. Okay. All right, so let's drag the show LEDs out. Let's remove the on button event block. Okay, let's use the gestures block. And then we select on logo up. So logo up, we can make it clear screen. And then when we have logo down, we will show a smiley face. All right, so let's give it a run. All right, so for this simulator, okay, so let's just see the physical. If we do a logo down, that's weird. Let me see. Okay, somehow is. Did I save it properly? Yeah, my microbit bar today appears to be a little bit loose. I'm not sure why actually. Oh, do I have it? Okay, you know what, guys? Yeah, I'll try to show you this again. Okay, yes, the drive is there. Good. Let's save the program again. Okay, so all right, for some reason it's not appearing right now. Let's do a switch over. Okay, let's select screen up, screen down. Okay, let me share my screen. All right, so what I did is I basically switched the logo up, logo down, and changed it to screen up, screen down. So screen is basically the LED screen. All right, so if on screen up, let's show LEDs. On screen down, we will clear the screen. All right. Let's save it to the microbit. Okay, so let me show you the physical microbit. So here you can see that when the screen is up, the smiley face is there. If it's down, you probably won't be able to see it, but let me see if I can show you. It is not facing up anymore. You'll see that the LED is not displaying anymore. All right, so it can. So we do this again. The loose connection again. Yeah, you know what? I need to switch to the other microbit part. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, we got a smiley face again. Yeah. All right, so that's it for today's lesson. If you have any questions, do leave it in the comments below. And also, make sure to go over to our website, all right, to know more about us. So I will copy the link of our website over to the group chat. So visit us at our website, and then look out for the post-session blog article that I'll be publishing. Right, that will also recap on some of the important things that we have talked about during this session itself. All right, so with that, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this session. All right, if you like the session, please like the video. All right, and then if you have any thoughts and any comments, yeah, just leave it in the comments section. And of course, I hope that you have a great time tinkering with your microbit. Go play around with the basic blocks that are available. Go play around with the input events. Try it out for yourself with doing different things. And then next week when we come back, we're going to continue with the inputs. All right, and then we're going to talk a little bit about logics. All right, so how do you handle different conditions, and then make under different conditions you want it to your microbit to do certain things. All right, so that is what we're going to talk about next week. All right, so with that, until next week, I'll see you guys again. And then, of course, this tomorrow, all right, tomorrow evening, we will be having the intermediate course, which is code with microbit. All right, so the exercises and lessons are going to be similar, but we will be using MicroPython and MU editor. All right, so if any of you are interested, just take a look at what's going on. If you're afraid that it'll confuse you, then I will recommend that you don't not confuse yourself by watching it. But if you are geek enough and you want to sort of find out what the more advanced peers, your more intermediate peers are learning, yeah, we can tune into the session tomorrow. It's going to be at the same time, 9 p.m. SGT, all right, and roughly 2 p.m. Britain Standard Time. All right, so yeah, thank you so much, guys. Bye.